Hey everyone, welcome back to building of the Tetrix base kit robot. So last time we left off here with the basic chassis, and this time we'll be going over how to put on the tires and Omni wheels. So to start off, you're going to need a U-bracket. Well, you're going to need two U-brackets, really, and for hep nuts, and for half-inch screws. So this video will probably be going up on March 4th, so I would like to say, happy birthday to me. Of course, it's, March 4th is my birthday. I'm 17 on the day this is being posted. So, yeah, that's exciting for me. So, as I said last time, my first foray into robotics was on an FTC team. That's first technical challenge, and if you were into this kind of stuff, I would recommend you find one of a team to join. First is an acronym. It stands for Inspiration in Science, for Science, Robotics, and Technology, I believe. I will look that up. But first is a group that works, that goes from 7th grade to graduating high school. They have, well, not just 7th grade, mostly 7th grade, but they do have Lego League, which works with the EV3 kits from Lego. And they have FTC, which builds robots like this to perform various game challenges. And then they have FRC, First Robotics Competition, which is mostly for high schoolers, and it is like the FRC or the FTC, but it's for older kids. So once you have these two U brackets on, that is the end of the first lesson. If you're following along in the book. If you're just following me, that is part of the basic chassis, so I'll be setting that aside now and getting the two DC motors, two 3-inch wheels, two motor mounts and the associated bolts, nuts and bolts with those, and two motor hub shafts, which, if you're looking in your building kit, are the larger shafts. These, of course, fit on the shaft like that, and the associated set screws with those. The set screws are small and easy to lose. So, what you're going to want to do is, once you have everything set up, you start by putting the motor through the motor mount, It's going to be a snug fit, so if it doesn't fit, you're going to want to use a little bit of pressure to get it down on, but once it does, you can typically rotate it to suit your needs. So you'll start like that. Then you will put the motor shaft bracket, or not bracket, hub on here. So what you're going to want to do with this is, you see right here, there's a little flat piece for the set screw to go on. Typically you don't want to put the set screw on the rounded edge, because that will be hard to get off. So this is not the 7/64 Allen wrench that I'm using now. This is a smaller one. I think it's 5/64. I may be wrong about that. I will put an annotation on the screen for if I am wrong. So there you have that. Next, you're going to want to put the tire on, and notice that the big hole right here in the center of the tire will fit onto the motor bracket, or the motor hub, and you want 8 half-inch screws, 4 for each.
Excuse me, Mr. Director.
4 for each side, and just tighten those down. So you're going to do that twice. Who you just heard there was my mother. I'm doing this on a Sunday, which is our normal laundry day, so that's always fun. So just for time's sake, I'm going to just be doing 2. And you're going to want to do the same thing with the other side, so I'll be covering that off camera, because it's the exact same process you did before. Alright, sorry for that cut. I had to go do laundry, of course. So what I'm doing now is taking out the screws I had already put in here, because they came included with the motor mount, so that I can mount this on the frame. And once I'm done with that, I'll be ending the video off, and the next time we will be covering the start of the electronics. So that'll be fun. So to mount it, what you're going to want to do is have this upside down, and both of them will work the same way. You do kind of want to make sure that you have the set screw pulled out enough that you can that the tire doesn't hit the edge like I have it. So, well, or you can always pull back the mount. So the mount is tightened by the screws. So if you were wondering about that, that's how that's done. The side of the motor mount that has the little gap in it is the side that tightens it. The other side is just to hold it down. Sometimes you will come across screws that just don't want to tighten, but always, of course, you can use the handy-dandy wrench that they include. And I will probably never be saying that again, so mark that down as the one time I say that. But, you know, first time and last time for everything. So I would also like to say that in the next video, I will, of course, be starting to go over electronics, but I will probably first be showing off something that I've done, that I've made with a 3D printer, or I've put together myself, just to kind of show you things that I've done. I will be going over a little bit how that works, why it works, what it does. And I was wrong, there are other steps after putting these on, so I will be doing that before we go to the electronics. So, of course, the other side is the exact same, set up the same way. Now, what you are going to want to notice is that the motors are not oriented the same way, but you can fix that by loosening the bolt on the side with the gap, and then you can rotate the motor to make sure that it's an ideal position for wiring, or so that your robot's not slightly angled or tilted. So like I said, I'm gonna be going over something that I built on my own, kind of showing you how it works, what I did. So yeah. I will also probably be showing you a few parts that have been made by other students in my robotics class at my local high school that you will probably not be able to find, but if you are good enough with CAD, you will be able to mimic. So there are those two tires. So now we'll be moving on to the Omni wheels. So if you don't know what that is, it's Omni wheels are like this. It's so that it can slide, go any direction, while going forward, back, side to side. So it's a pretty useful thing. So now, what you're going to want here is, you're going to want two axle shafts. These are, of course, smaller than the motor shafts, and you'll also need two axle hubs and their associated set screws. So I'll be showing you how to put those together and putting them on before we end off the video. So that's that. Now, this is similar to what you did with the wheels on the DC motors. You set this up so that you can put the screws in and then tighten them down. Now, do notice that this hole does not perfectly align with the size of that hole. You can put your Omni wheels on your motors, but you only do that occasionally for certain things. Only 2 Omni wheels come in the kit, while you have 4 of the other wheels. So that is why you typically don't do that. You also I will probably be not using the Omni wheels. I will be using the same setup as the Omni wheels have, but I will be using the other wheels to just because the Omni wheels are a little bit they have a few downsides. They slip quite a bit. It doesn't really work with the surfaces that I will be working with. I may also be showing you some other tires that you will probably be unable to get. You may be able to get it, but I will have to look into that. I may be showing you how to use chains and treads in a few videos, but again, it all comes down to what I have and what I think will be best for the robot. So again, what you're going to want to do is tighten this, tighten the set screw down onto the flat of the axle, like so. And then, if you do it right, you have a fancy little top, or a wheel. So to put this on, I will only be doing one side in this video, and covering and doing the other off screen because, well, it's the exact same. So you take these brass bushings, which are neat little things. They go in, they help it go around, and they fit in these holes. You're also going to want, if I can find it, one of these, a locking nut, or an axle set collar. And of course it has its own little set screw in there. So you push these through, so you push the axle through those. Make sure the brass bushings go through the holes. Slide this on. Again, this is a smaller Allen wrench than we've used before. This kit comes with 4 Allen wrenches. One for large, one for the one for the large hex screws, one for the set screws, one for the small set screws, and one for the button head screws, which will probably be covered in another video. So that goes on like that. It spins. Yay, all happy. So as I said, next time I'll be going over the electronics and putting those on. So yeah. See you guys then.